I get offended, speaking of, when you're like, how many times have people kind of confused you with the Mowry sisters, which is, they're beautiful women, but I think that people should be more mindful to joke about people's legacy. You know what I mean? Because they have their own legacy, which is beautiful in its own right, and I have mine. And so I don't like when people just haphazardly conflate.
So here's the thing, right? I do think that she has a point because with social media, it makes it easy to have jokes, and we love jokes. We love to get things straight. But once again, as a black woman, who has been in entertainment for 30 years on various sitcoms, films, she deserves her own respect as much as we respect the Mowry twins, right? It's not that big of a deal. Andy's like, why are you tripping? But I think that we just got to remember that as we fight, we talk about representation, we talk about making sure that our voices are heard, that we're out there. We got to respect the people that have been down, stayed down, and have managed to make it through, because this industry is nothing nice, as we discuss almost each and every night with some of our headlines. And for anyone that has managed to put in that work, maintain, have a sticking power, and not be a bad person in the process, we got to celebrate those people all the way through, right? Right. All right, now, last night we were supposed to have a guest, and things happen, life comes at us fast, but tonight he is here, and he is a 5-time Grammy Award winning producer. And you have heard all of his hits, but especially as of late, we talked about, I think it was last week, how R. Kelly jumped on the Residuals challenge, which was started by Tank. But we have the co-producer in the building, Mr. Eric Hudson. We're about to get all up into your backstory, all up into everything. Thank you for coming. I'm excited to have you.
No, thank you for having me. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. So thank you for having me.
Great. So first up, Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige, Kanye, Chris Brown, Omarion. So when I was talking about, you have like been a part of some of my favorite songs that I didn't realize that just have a vibe. I love the vibe that your music carries. Entourage, that was a nice summer song when that dropped, carrying it through. Flashing Lights is one of my favorite songs ever. And I love Residuals. So talk a little bit about your entry into the business, and I mean, what it's like not just working with icons, but managing to keep your signature sound, but blending it so well with these, titans.
Well, my entry into the business comes from my I would say my dad. Right, my dad is a songwriter, producer, and so is my
Legacy.
he. My mom is a singer, songwriter as well. So they wrote this song called "Holiday" for Madonna.
Which is
Right.
like the favorite when we all thought Madonna was black. But go ahead.
So I grew up playing in church. I grew up with a studio in my house, so it was always instruments around, bass here, guitar, piano, organ downstairs. So I kind of just tried to incorporate that into my style of creating music. So when you hear the entourages or the Can We Chills or the flashing lights, it's a lot of live instrumentation, and I just think that comes from being a church kid playing in church. But my entry as far as the music industry comes from, my dad is a producer, so I kind of had a,
You grew up with it?
yeah, I grew up with it.
What's that like growing up with like not just music in the home, but successful music, hitmaker music, and you mentioned church, so you're getting both secular and, our gospel roots in there. What's that experience like?
It just gives you like motivation, when you looking at the plaques on the wall and you seeing things. It's like it's encouragement. It's like I can do this. You know what I mean? You see your dad's plaques, you're like, man, one day I can get some plaques. Or you go to your mom's house and she got platinum plaques, or so just it gives you encouragement that you can make it.
So we kind of are in, where TikTok can fuel or help raise the profile of music in this current era and things like that. And what did you think when you heard Tank kick off the Residuals challenge and you see all the different versions and verses that have dropped in and where it's gone?
First of all, Tank is like one of my favorite artists. So just to hear him do it and cover it was just, it was amazing. You know what I mean? Just having one of your favorite artists do your song, and then once it just started to spread, it's an incredible feeling. Some of my favorite artists of all time have covered it. You can't even put it into words.
So do you think like you're talking to him like, hey, maybe we could work together now since you like that?
Oh man, anytime.
Thing?
I've got a chance to work with Tank before, but I'll work with Tank anytime, man.
Anything
That's
like that?
that's big, bro. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So give me the one studio session that had you like, oh my God, this is about to be historic. I want to know what happened, who was there, did it live up to the hype?
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. Man, so many.
You could do two.
I would say Whitney Houston.
Okay. That's not small.
Yeah, Whitney Houston for me. That session. I didn't
So you
know.
got to tell us what song, what
Yeah.
we're feeling.
Well, the song was called "Worth It" that I did on her last album before she passed away.
Okay.
But it was just, I just felt something special. She was just coming back, and it's just the energy was good. And I grew up, with my mom went to high school with her, and so it's a family thing.
Oh, wow.
She's from East Orange, New Jersey.
Okay.
My dad knows her really well.
So wait, you keep saying my parents, my mom, my dad. You know you have to like give the audience their names in case they.
Well,
aren't familiar.
I have two mothers. I'm blessed. So
Okay.
my biological mom's name is Lisa Stevens. She's the co-writer of Holiday. My dad's name is Curtis Hudson. Wrote a lot of hit records. But my other mom's name is Phyllis. I have another mom, Phyllis Geneva Bibbins. That's Dr. Phyllis Geneva
Okay.
Bibbins Hudson. So yeah, so I have two moms.
So listen, not only are you blessed with two moms, it seems like you're getting fulfilled and poured into from all different aspects of life and the industry with that setup.
Well, that's been a blessing, to be honest with you. That's been a blessing.
So, from the early 2000s until now, your sound has evolved, but you managed to stay signature. How do you stay current without chasing trends?
Live instrumentation.
Facts.
Right, if you keep a guitar in there or a bass somewhere, live bass or a piano or some live strings or some horns, it just keeps it authentic, So that's what I try to bring, even if it's a trend. I said I'm gonna still do my thing on top of whatever the trend is. And that's kind of, I feel like, kept me around.
So we talked a little bit, we mentioned in my other story about the industry, and we know it can be treacherous, something to manage and get through. And obviously you had the advantage of having parents who had been in the industry so could help you navigate it. But do you think with all these classic records under your belt, right, and the way the current system is set up, and we hear the conversations around streaming, is the current system doing right by producers and songwriters, or are they still kind of getting the crumbs?
Oh, we're getting the least. We're getting the crumbs. Yeah, but they're not doing right by us at all. No, they owe us so much money. If they paid us what we really deserve, I mean, so many songwriters and producers would be multi millionaires. So, no, they're doing this wrong.
How do you think the system can be fixed? Do you think it's like broken from the label standpoint, from publishing? Like, where do you think you could begin to kind of correct some of those errors?
I think the label standpoint is, as well. The label's benefiting a lot of money off this stuff, man, and the writers and producers and, excuse me, even some of the artists are not. So I think if some of the label heads all got together and, we can have some type of change, but it has to be everybody getting together. You know what I mean? It's, so.
So we've seen the industry move from mechanical products, CDs, tapes, vinyl, although vinyl is making a comeback, to mostly digital. And it also impacts, I talk a lot about.
I miss vinyl.
You miss vinyl?
Yeah.
The richness of it and things of that nature?
To be able to go and get a CD and open it up and look at the credits and all of those things.
The liner notes are important. They're big.
Yeah,
Do you think, because I'm big about sequencing, I feel like, back in the day, some of our favorite albums, listening to them in the order which the creation was. I know Prince famously, I guess it was the Love Sexy album. He made that, one single track. So you couldn't fast forward. You had to listen to everything.
Yeah.
Do you feel that with streaming, because albums are pulled apart so much, or because singles are now the focus, that it has changed the creative process?
Absolutely, because people don't really listen to whole albums anymore, or, even things like interludes and just, you know what I mean? It's just kind of just, this business is single driven. So yeah, like I grew up, listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire whole albums, and the Ohio Players and Shaka Khan, and actually playing the album, Rufus, and but yeah, that's missing in today's music.
So, what does like you growing up listening, digging through crates, listening to albums front to back? How do you think that is represented in your work currently, having those roots?
Um, Again, I just think, just keeping that live instrumentation in there, always trying to constantly challenge myself. When you're studying the greatest, the greats, I feel like that's going to push you. So if you're playing some Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then you go to the studio and try to create something, you might come out with something decent. You know what I mean? So I just try to listen to the greats, the James Browns, the Princes, the people that really change music. Sly Stone, and just try to incorporate that into whatever I'm doing.
What kind of playlists are you listening to right now? Like, what were you listening to on the drive over?
Well, I just had the radio. Just the radio. They played
Okay.
"Ooh Baby Baby" came on by Smokey Robinson. Usher's "Nice and Slow" came on. Funny Prince came on. "Diamonds and Pearls." So yeah.
Okay. All right. So, in the chat, they said Morris Phillips says the greatest legacy in the world is the African American church. So, he's giving it up to you for that. Um,
I agree with him.
you agree with
I
him
agree with him.
wholeheartedly.
Church is my foundation.
So, we don't have as many as we used to artists coming from the church, those roots, those ties. Do you think that that is some of the reason why some of our music is so, I won't say disposable, but it doesn't stick in the same way that maybe some of the past hits have?
Yeah, I agree. I think when you come from the church, it just gives you certain roots. It's just something about the church. I can't explain it. Whether you're a musician or a singer, it's just it brings something out in you. You know what I mean? When you got to be at church every Sunday, singing and doing the same thing, it just makes you, I don't know,
Discipline?
discipline, and it's a certain soul and something that just comes from the church. I can't really put it into words. Yeah.
So,
They
what's
call it the anointing.
the anointing?
Yeah, that's what they call it. When
I
you're in
mean, facts.
yeah.
So, what is a studio session like with you?
With me, I don't like too many people.
Okay.
I usually like the writer, who I'm working with the writer, the artist, and just really good engineer, and just try to go in and knock it out. Like to have some fun and just talk, eat a little food, catch a vibe, and just try to get to it.
Are you in the studio with your artists once they get the track? Do you?
I would say about 75% of the time I am. Sometimes some artists will cut it on their own, but a lot of times I'm usually in the studio.
Okay, so we're going to be going to break in a bit. Not yet, in a bit.
Okay.
Andy's like, no, she's not thing. So I want to make sure before, of course, everybody needs to know where they can follow you, get more information about you. We're doing this now so that they don't miss it. Where can they follow you to find more information?
My Instagram Instagram, E Hudson Music is my Instagram. So you can follow me there, and
Do you ever show like behind the scenes your process or of you putting together or figuring out your thing? No.
I haven't yet, but I need to.
Who says you need to? I'm just asking. You might not want to share your secret sauce with anyone.
Now my pops always tell me, he said, man, you need to show, man, how you in the studio, how you create it. Different people tell me that. So I think I'm gonna start doing that a little bit more.
Do you feel pressure because we are in a social media era where, it's not just about your talent, it's about showing the process, who you are as a brand. Do you feel pressure as a producer to buy into that at all?
No, I've never bought into that. I think if I had her, I think I would be more well known, what I'm saying, with some of the work I've done. But no, I never really cared, to be honest with you, who knew I was doing what. I think I was probably the last person to get on social media, get on that.
Why'd you wait so long?
I just never cared about posting where I'm at and like letting people see what I guess I came up from like '05, 2006, 7, 8, it was no social media. So I had to get used to
You
it.
weren't on MySpace?
Oh yeah, I was on MySpace. I was on MySpace a little bit. I was on MySpace, but just posting, I had to get used to like, oh, I'm in the studio with Mariah Carey. Let me show you, because when I came up, people didn't.
You aren't supposed to do that,
You wasn't
right?
supposed to take pictures. People
No.
didn't want to be photo. So it's a whole different world now. And
It's all flipped.
I'm adjusting to it.
When we come forward, we're going to have more with Eric Hudson. We're going to get more into these trending topics and headlines. You are locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. News, traffic, and sports up next.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Courtney Merritt's husband of former Missouri Congresswoman Cori Bush, who is black, is charged with wire fraud for allegedly defrauding federal COVID relief programs. His attorney says he plans to plead not guilty. The University of Virginia has released a report on the 2022 shooting that killed 3 black football players. The shooter pled guilty and will be sentenced this November. The report recommends stronger threat assessment and safety measures. Black Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, despite low poll ratings, compares himself to late Mayor Harold Washington. He highlighted reopening mental health clinics, creating affordable housing, and 29,000 summer jobs. Johnson is touring black churches to build support amid migrant crisis tension. And music producer and alleged Crips gang leader Eugene Big U Henley remains in federal custody after surrendering in Los Angeles. He's accused of extortion, human trafficking, fraud, and a 2021 murder. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
A crash in Carson, 405 southbound before the 110, blocking the carpool lane, delays away from Redondo Beach Boulevard. Also, let's head out to Stevenson's Ranch on the 5 southbound before McBean Parkway. A crash is out of lanes, but delays are backing up away from Rye Canyon. Also, let's head out to the drive in West LA, stall 10 westbound just before Bundy. It's in the center divider. Delays are backing up away from Cloverfield, and it's slow in Tustin, 5 northbound leaving Jamboree to Harbor in Anaheim.
LifeSource Whole Home Water Systems filter water from every tap. In honor of their anniversary, they're giving new customers a special offer. Call 1-800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com. Warranty and offer restrictions apply.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
For alumni of Southern University in the Los Angeles area, your HBCU team is facing a very tough challenge in tonight's NCAA tournament women's basketball game at UCLA. UCLA is the overall #1 seed in the tournament and the #1 team in the country. I bring this up to give Southern fans a dose of reality before tonight's game. Southern was 15-3 in the SWAC conference and won the SWAC tournament, but they were 2-11 against non-conference teams. The 11 losses were by an average of 25.4 points. Southern lost by 56 to Texas. Other schools on Southern's non-conference schedule included Oklahoma, Missouri, Iowa State, North Carolina State, and Colorado. I give Southern credit for playing a difficult non-conference schedule, but they did not fare well in preparing for the SWAC regular season. Just wanted to give Southern fans a heads up before they walk into Pauley Pavilion tonight. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, this is Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and for over 20 years, Parkside Economic Development Corporation has served Leimert Park and surrounding communities, empowering tomorrow's leaders and changing lives. Parkside EDC has awarded over $400,000 in college scholarships while sharing economic principles of the Big Five of money with students and their families. Parkside EDC partners with organizations like the Brotherhood Crusade to assure our youth have the financial acumen to succeed. Parkside EDC provides families and businesses with financial insights, offering free online, on-site, and on-air B-Warp presentations. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Programs helps our community acquire, sustain, and pass down legacy wealth. High school seniors can apply for this year's scholarship awards at parksideedc.org. Scholarships will be awarded at Parkside EDC's Gospel/Jazz Brunch on Sunday, April the 27th. For details, tickets, or donations, please visit parksideedc.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach, transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal, prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
As we go a little something like this.
Hey, it is me, D.L. Hughley, and I am thrilled to be heard weekdays in my hometown on KBLA Talk 1580. So check out the D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. We got a whole lot to talk about, let me tell you.
That's for the real.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Try to keep my conversation clean, but you the flyest thing I've seen. Yeah. Since I came up in here, you're a superstar, my dear. I don't wanna waste your time. I won't waste your time. Oh, no corny play your line.
That's why.
But girl, if you don't mind, I would love to occupy space right by your side. Girl, can we chill? Talk about leaving together, sure we will.
Welcome back in. You are locked in to KBLA Talk 1580. You know, that's Neo, Can We Chill? And you are sitting here, well, I am, and you're observing. I'm sitting here with Eric Hudson, producer extraordinaire, 5-time Grammy Award winning producer. Did I mention he can play like 27 instruments? I'm not joking. It might not be 27, but it's quite a few. I'm not joking. And listen, we're going to get into some more of these trending topics and headlines. I see the phone lines lighting up. So if at any point you want to get in, 800-920-1580. Also, the social medias are social meeting, KBLA 1580. The YouTube chat, they're already going in, so you can drop us off your commentary there. Hit me up personally at Stiletto Jill. Now that we've run all the business down, listen, we're going to get into Shaq's commentary. Shaq is funny. You know, Shaq always has something to say. Shaq is a little bit of a gaslighter if you listen to this commentary, but I still find it interesting. We're going to talk about it. So Shaq said that you cannot tell the truth to women, right? He said you are not supposed to be all the way honest. He says, if I say I'm with this freak, that's honest. But if I say I'm with my friend, you're going to relax more. He said that, it is all in presentation, how you present things, and that, women need to be talked to a certain way, that they all say they can handle it, but they really can't. And that tends to shift and move as things, evolve. So we're going to hear what Shaq had to say. And then, of course, we're going to discuss it. And, I'm going to tap in with Eric to get his take on Shaq's foolishness. So here we go. Or maybe not.
So a lot of men are afraid of marriage these days.
Because y'all got rules and y'all don't tell us.
What does that mean?
Y'all be making up rules.
What rules, Shaq?
All right, let me put you through a scenario.
Okay.
What's your name?
Anissa.
All right, we're talking.
Yeah.
I'll leave my phone right here.
Okay.
And Anissa says, "You're doing a good job, baby. I love you." Is that cheating? Yes or no? Don't think about it. You checking my phone, and
Okay.
Anissa, your friend, says, "You're doing a good job, baby. I like you."
What?
We're friends too. But you.
Oh, if you're friends.
Hold on. You didn't know that she has my number or we're texting, and you see her and it just pop up. She's sitting right there, and then pop up, my guy, baby, you're doing a good job. I love you. Is that cheating or not?
I don't. It depends on you.
Answer the question. We're dating, and you text me, but she don't know that me and you have been texting. No, see,
I don't think that that's cheating.
But
No, and the reason why.
Thank you.
But let me tell you why.
Thank you. It's
Because
not.
you can't control another person.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with it.
And
either.
also-
No.
But the boundaries
No.
aspect of it. Why is she calling you baby? That's what's throwing me off. If she was just like, "You're doing a great
Because we're
job. I
friends.
love you,"
We're friends.
that's fine.
Okay, you're doing a good job. I love you.
Oh,
All right,
that's
forget the
fine.
baby.
I'm not pressed by that at all.
But you see her answer?
Yeah.
And that's how most of them think.
But I also think that a lot
but
of
hold on. And then it's a word y'all made up, emotional cheating.
that's a thing.
How do you know my emotions? How do you know I'm just not playing with you all the time? When I say I love you, I miss you.
Then you're emotionally playing with her.
Okay, but what does that matter to you? You think I'm emotional cheating, which doesn't exist, by the way.
It does exist.
Does not.
If you are emotionally connected with another person and I don't know
How do you
about
know
it.
I'm emotionally connected with another person? How do you know? Just because you
Well,
read
you wouldn't
something?
know, and that's the whole thing
That's my
about
point.
cheating, because there's no conversation about it. But if there's a woman or a man and they are with each other having intimate conversations or intimate experiences, that's
Experiences is a different thing because in law enforcement, right? What's your name, my guy?
Kenny.
I can say right here on camera.
Yeah.
As soon as I leave this, I'm gonna break Kenny's jaw and throw him down the steps.
Yeah.
Right?
Insane.
Hold on, right?
Yes.
But I can't be charged because I said y'all got me saying it on camera. But until I make the overt act, I cannot be charged. So it doesn't matter what I say right
So you're
there.
saying because it
No.
can't be proved.
No, I ain't got nothing to prove. In order for me to be charged for conspiracy I gotta actually do it. I have to make the overt act. Now, if I get up and go grab his shirt, I set it on tape. I'm getting sued. Y'all gonna make a lot of money. I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I'm doing this, but not doing the overt act of seeing the person secretly or doing that, it's not really cheating.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Ask me.
I have to.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
So if you are in a relationship,
If you're in a relationship with Sarah,
and there is a man, and she's telling another man how much she loves him and how much she wants to be with him.
I wouldn't know that because I wouldn't check Sarah's phone. If I'm sitting here and Sarah's phone go, I'm not gonna look because I know what I do. In my mind, I know what I do. She's not going nowhere because I fit all the boxes. So if her ring right now, I'm not gonna be like, I'm just.
Because you're secure in who you are.
That's her phone. I don't need to look at it.
So do you
if
like
my
my
phone,
emasculated when they look through their woman's phone?
I do. Because, it's an old saying that goes true. If you look for something, you find it. But you need to know what you're looking at.
that's the truth, because everything could be different in context.
You need to know what you're looking at. Just because you say I love you don't mean you're in a relationship.
No, I agree with that. I tell all my people that I love them. Like I don't miss a chance to tell people that I love them.
I love you, Sarah.
And then every relationship I've had, I've tried to end it respectfully. Well, I love you. I love you too.
All right, when we come forward, we're going to get Eric's thoughts on this. We're going to get my thoughts on this because that was a lot. Shaq is a lot. Shaq is gaslighting. We're going to get into all of that on the other side. You're locked into KBLA Talk 1580.
You're Ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. S&P volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an S&P open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit casmpvolunteer.org. Protect yourself from Medicare card scams. Scammers may call, email, or even knock on your door claiming they need your Medicare info, asking for money or threatening to cancel your benefits. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. Remember, Medicare doesn't need to verify your information. They already have it. Medicare won't charge you for a new card and will never threaten to cancel benefits. Check your Medicare statements for suspicious charges and report scams to the California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080. We're here to help. Need a ride? Ride in style. Choose K-Meets, luxury transportation that puts you first. K-Meets has you covered with our 6-seater Sprinter limo that's perfect for couples, proms, weddings, and events. Whether it's a night out, special event, or just because, our Elite Sprinter offers the perfect blend of luxury and intimacy without the crowd. Looking for SUV? K-Meets has that too. Elite SUV service available for your next ride. Book at kmeblack.com or call today, 424-500-4751. Again, kmeblack.com, 424-500-4751.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back in. You're locked in with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Now listen, since it is Friday and I always tell you to get your libations and snacks. We kind of, got invaded in the studio tonight with Los Negros Tequila. It is Black owned. So you guys need to go online and check it out. From what I understand, it's very smooth. It is something for you to imbibe with your cigars, for one of those type of nights, when not for we're going to get lit and, do reckless things. This is when you're supposed to have a night. Maybe a night like that. Something like that. All right, listen, let's get back into these trending topics and headlines. So, Eric, I was asking you about what Shaq said. Now, there's some truth to it, but some of that seems like a little gaslighting. What are your thoughts on it? Do you feel that you can be fully honest in a relationship? I want to let you guys know that Eric's significant other might be in the building. Well, maybe.
I mean, that's a tricky subject, man. Because I got 2 sisters. You know what I'm saying? And they don't play that. I got my mom. Like they're on all about being transparent and being honest. However, I don't know if that always works.
You got to figure it out based on person
scenario. I would think it's just best not to mess around or do anything if you have to lie.
Did you have a wild period?
Did I have a wild period?
Yeah, did you have a moment when you were for the streets? I'm just asking, music industry. I know that, listen, respectfully, because I recognize you said you came up in the church and I understand that, but sometimes we all have our moments. We stray, but we fall down, but we get up. I'm just asking. I'm not saying did you have a moment when the streets were calling your name? Hit producer, there are lots of things. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I've had fun. I did, yes, I've dated.
Little bit.
Little bit.
Were you honest in all of those situations? Hey, this is for the
Absolutely
moment, not for the
not.
long term.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, I wasn't.
Did it work out better or worse for you with that?
Probably worse, I would say, if I'm being honest. I mean, it depends on who the person is.
It depends on the person.
But it's always better. I know it's always better that, to be honest. I know that it's something that my mothers tell me. Both, I remember I got a lot of community of women around me to support me. So they always say it's better to be honest than to lie. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I've been told.
But you have to grow into that sometimes. Sometimes you're not ready for the emotional fallout of your truths.
Well, it's going to be a fallout if you tell the truth. Like what Shaq is saying, basically, is
I mean, I should point out, though, that Shaq said in his divorce it was all him. He was out in those streets, wilding out, and it was all him.
That's typically the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, that's the case. But, yeah.
How do you determine who you can tell the truth to and who you have to lie to for their feelings?
Good question. I think it's based on how you really love and view the person. If you take the person serious, then you tend to, I would think you want to be more honest with that person. If you don't see yourself being serious with that person, you're just gonna lie to them, tell them whatever.
Because in Baby Boy, Tyrese said, I lie to you. I tell them the truth because basically they don't mean nothing. I lie to you to protect you. So
that could be a little bit of manipulation, but
we don't know. We gotta see.
It is, man. When women, women lie, men lie.
Everybody lies.
Everybody lies.
It depends
man.
on the time.
It depends. Yeah.
Time and place.
Yeah.
We grow.
Nobody's
we
perfect.
We listen. We don't judge. We listen. We don't judge.
Don't judge nobody.
So, last night we were talking about Timbaland. Andy, come on.
Hold on.
All right.
On. Y'all forgot about that whole emotional cheating aspect right there.
Emotional cheating happens. That's real.
I think it's more of a woman thing than it is a man thing.
When you say a woman thing, meaning
women
in what capacity?
You hear, and I'm speaking stereotypically and in general, you always hear that the woman leaves first, right? Because her emotions have left the place. For men, I don't think
it don't happen like that. Yeah, I agree with you.
So emotional cheating, what I think that means is, right, like, okay, I am in a relationship with dude 2B over here, right? But I go and I have conversations with Eric where I'm looking for my support. Like, dang, I had a really hard day. 2B don't care about that. Eric is like, it's okay. You are a good person. You worked hard. Building you up. In this scenario, guys, we're just kidding. Come on. But so we develop an attachment because I am looking to get something from Eric that I'm not getting from my man, that in theory your friend should support you, but I should not be looking to get that in theory outside of my relationship. And if I'm relying on that, if I feel like something's missing, if I don't have that support, that is emotional cheating.
But that's when it gets tricky though, because if you have a male friend, and let's just say if your boyfriend or your husband does something, you might just go to that friend and lean on his shoulder.
Right.
So
that's emotional. That's
it's just what happened. I think it's just nature.
That's just life. It's just nature. But I think for some, right? Like
it's not intentional.
Right. I'm saying for me personally, I'm not the type of person like, oh, I'm dating. You can't have female friends. Like, that's ridiculous. Everybody's an adult. I don't believe in that. But I do understand why some women get concerned because they're like, either they think their man is more than what it is. Baby, ain't everybody out here worrying about trying to swallow him up. Or they know he's trash. Or they feel like that, they're worried about their own self, their own insecurities. So they project that out, thinking that everyone else walking around is going to make moves or, do things in harm. So there's a lot of things that come to that. I don't have that issue, but I understand when it raises its head.
Also, how you guys talk.
What do you mean?
Hey, boo. Hey, babe. And you guys don't mean nothing about
no,
that.
But some women get really touchy, and think about that. I am the type of woman, and some of my friends, we talk about that. I'm going to take 2 steps back and to the left. I don't want there to be anything misconstrued. I don't want there to be any confusion. So if I feel like your significant others, now I'm going to do everything to make sure she's comfortable and know that, I'm a friend to her too. But if she doesn't rock that kind of way, she's not that type of girl, then I'm going to kind of respect that, still friends. But I understand as a woman that there's different things that ebb and flow. It may not be the choice that I make in my personal relationship. Okay. So this is my question that I wanted to ask you. It's about talent. So we were talking about Timbaland in a recent interview. He talked about how he battled through a drug addiction, but he recognized that the best production, even though he's done some what is considered classics while he was in that altered state, some of his best work really, he believes, was prior to that. And I asked the question about us in this current era. It's always been that way, but sort of relishing or holding up the idea of the tortured artist. Like, Future, he always talks about what's in his cup, and people were like, purple Sprite, and it comes out that Future doesn't even really, get twisted like that or do drugs. So do you think that, especially in hip hop culture, or, these later times, that we do too much to elevate the sort of tortured artist, or the artist that, drinks and brings their creativity out, or, with Lil Wayne and his 2 cups and things like that?
Yeah, I think putting it in the music, in general, talking about drugs and all that, I'm just not really for that. That's not my message. I'm more of a positive person. I don't think, if you're doing that, I don't think you need to put it into the music. Keep it private. Like James Brown didn't do that. If he was doing drugs, I never heard him write a song about doing drugs. Or Sly Stone or some of those guys that got high, they made music about love and uplifting people and things like that. So I just don't believe in putting it in the music. If your personal preference is to get high, whatever you do, then do that on your own. But don't put it in the music. I don't want to hear about a double cup of Sprite mixed with some codeine. I mean, that's not really what I want to hear, but I know it works. And I don't want to disrespect Future. Like,
right. I'm no disrespect to him.
I love Future. Future's one of the I listen. He's a great artist. You know what I'm saying? But I just some of the messages I maybe I just don't disagree with, and that's all.
Because and this is Jill. Nobody else. This is Jill. It's kind of like in hip hop, we noticed we went from the dealer to the user. Like, in the 90s in hip hop, they were all supposed to be slanging, but don't get high off your own supply. And then as the music later on, like, we've had a lot of, overdoses, drug related deaths in hip hop. And that wasn't traditionally something that was of concern for us in that aspect. So just noticing the change and the shift.
I think it's so much in the music. I think it's so much in the music that's making the young kids think it's acceptable and cool to do it, and that's why you're having so many overdoses. And now you got this fentanyl and all that stuff, mixed in this stuff, and it's killing the younger generation. It's really sad, but that's why I'm trying to bring back positive music.
Let's go. One time for the positivity. I mean, again, and I'm not, I know Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, there's like so many throughout history that have gone through that. So I'm not trying to just pin it on us.
I just don't think they promoted it, though. I never heard a song where Janis Joplin said, go get high.
Good point. Was she singing about whiskey, though, in one of those songs?
Well, I mean, Chris Stapleton has Tennessee whiskey.
True.
So, I mean, that's just, a song about alcohol has been done, for years. People have been singing that since the blues.
That is facts.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I want to thank you for tapping in with us here at KBLA Talk 1580. E. Hudson Music. Yep, that's where you can find him. It's Friday, and, once again, if you're looking for something to enjoy the weekend and slip it in, we were gifted with the presence of Los Negros tequila. It's a black owned. So tap in, go check that out online. Really quick, I mentioned Meagan Good and Jonathan Majors. Magazine Dreams drops today. I know I said I was dropping my Jonathan Majors interview today, but we had Eric in the building, so you guys will tap in with that on Monday. But Jonathan mentioned that Meagan Good lost several sponsorships, connections, relationships because of her association with her. He says she stayed down. He told her, hey, babe, I'll understand if you move around. She didn't. She stuck with her man. And now I's married now. So congratulations to them. Magazine Dreams is an incredible film. Pretty powerful. We'll see what happens and where this ride takes us. Thank you guys.
I want to say one thing.
Absolutely, Eric.
So I want to, give a shout out to Milo Waiters. I got this new single out called Worth It. And
Okay.
It just dropped last night. And me and my dad produced it with another writer, Felly, and my other producer, Ezra. So I'm happy about that. Check him out. Milo, young artist, on Black Ground Records, and he's amazing.
Shout out to Black
And
Ground.
then my other boy, Elijah Blake, we got a song called Stuck in Our Ways
Okay.
with Seven Streeter.
Nice.
That's doing pretty well, and that's on the radio. So, yeah, I just,
all right.
Just want to give that a shout out.
So make sure you guys are locked in with that. Again, E. Hudson Music to go and learn more about him, his catalog, where to tap in. You can hear those songs. Make sure you are tapped in with me each and every Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. here on KBLA Talk 1580. Enjoy your weekend, y'all. I'll check you out Monday.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Courtney Merritt's husband of former Missouri Congresswoman Cori Bush, who is black, is charged with wire fraud for allegedly defrauding federal COVID relief programs. His attorney says he plans to plead not guilty. The University of Virginia has released a report on the 2022 shooting that killed 3 black football players. The shooter